Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 6. I hope you are all doing well. I apologize for the lack of video last week, but I hope you were able to get everything done and didn't need too much explanation for that. But let's just review quickly what we had going on for this past week. So you needed to read and submit annotations or notes for the preface to Collected Essays by Aldous Huxley, and then also a short narrative story called Once More to the Lake by E.B. White. So you needed to upload your annotations or notes for those two readings here. And then you were going to participate in this discussion called What Makes an Essay? So with the Huxley and White annotations and stories, the preface to Collected Essays, I really wanted you to focus on what he calls the three-poled frame of reference here. So specifically in this neighborhood, right around here. So he says that essays belong to a literary species whose extreme variability can be studied most effectively within a three-poled frame of reference. There is the pole of the personal and the autobiographical. Okay, so that's one aspect. There's the pole of the objective, the factual, the concrete, particular. And there's the pole of the abstract, universal. So there's these three poles that he is identifying. And he says that most essayists are at home and at their best in the neighborhood of only one of the essay's three poles. So most are either personal, objective, or abstract, or at the most, they're only at home in two of those three aspects. And then, so then he goes on to kind of explain a little bit more what he means. But ultimately, we want the most richly satisfying essays are those which make the best of not one, not of two, but of all three worlds in which it is possible for the essay to exist. So I want you to take this as like a guide for our upcoming essays. So think about how you can incorporate, maybe a personal anecdote or some sort of a story narrative aspect, as well as those objective facts and specific examples and concrete things. And then there's that abstract, right? That universal, the kind of bigger picture aspect of it all. So I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that you can kind of take that into consideration as you're going to be writing the two main essays for this class. Okay, and then taking a quick look at E.B. White's Once More to the Lake. You are probably familiar with some of E.B. White's work. Probably Charlotte's Web is the most well-known story of his. He also wrote Trumpet of the Swan and Stuart Little. Those are his three, I think, most famous books for children in particular. And then he also is co-author of a really important writing book called The Elements of Style that I would highly recommend if you are pursuing your college education and if you enjoy writing. That is kind of like the go-to manual for all things like mechanical, grammatical with regard to writing. So this story is about E.B. White's The Personal Narrative. So it's, I mean, we're supposed to take this as somewhat of a true story and his experience at the lake. And I think that at the end, I just wanted to point out and talk about something here that at the end, he's back there with his son. So he's been to this lake with his father. Now he is the father and he has a son watching his son, right? And he mentions in the story that he, feels this interesting juxtaposition, right? That he was once the child, now he's the father, the adult, and now he has a child, right? That there's this kind of generations are moving on. Time is passing and that sort of thing. So at the very end, it says here, languidly and with no thought of going in, I watched him, his son, his hard little body, skinny and bare, saw him wince slightly as he pulled up around his vitals the small, soggy, icy garment, his swim trunks. As he buckled the swollen belt, suddenly my groin felt the chill of death. So this ending is, I guess, a little bit of a cliffhanger and can sometimes confuse people, but I think what we're meant to get from this is that he is feeling that, in a way, death is imminent for him, right? He is now in his father's place. Eventually he'll be an old man, right? He's kind of recognizing his mortality, and, that this is kind of the cycle of life, right? It's just natural for time to pass, for us to grow older. And so I think that that's just like a recognition on his part that, the reality of death in a way, and all of those things. So I just wanted to clarify that for any of you who were kind of wondering like what was happening at the end there. Okay, so back to week 5. So that was pretty much all you were doing last week, is those 2 readings and the discussion. All right, week 6. So this week we have another module from Lumen Learning. These are writing essentials. So all about thesis statements, topic sentences, paragraphs, introductions, conclusions, audience, writing strong sentences, and sentence construction. So please annotate or take notes for those articles and then submit them to the assignment. And then let's see, the cause and effect assignment page. So you're going to read this assignment page for essay 1. So your first essay is a cause and effect. So cause and effect is a rhetorical style that discusses which events lead to specific results. And this video here is going to go more in depth of this essay, talking you through it. So please watch that. At the very least, you need to read thoroughly this page. So as it says here, you can concentrate on causes only, effects only, or a combination of both. And it is your choice of topic. So you're going to choose a topic that interests you, but also one that's not like totally just obvious and overdone. Things like climate change in general, okay? Focus on something particular about climate change, such as, for example, deforestation, or maybe you can talk about, not just like pollution, but maybe ocean pollution, right? Trash in oceans. And so kind of, I want you to be going a little bit more specific, a little bit more deeper, rather than just like those surface level topics that we're kind of all used to or we've all heard of. Okay, so again, you can watch this video here, which will go into depth about the whole essay. Okay, the other thing that you need to do is to watch and submit notes for this TED Talk. It's called Why Bees Are Disappearing by this woman whose name is Marla Spivak. And she, in her talk, is discussing causes and effects of the bees disappearing, right? What are the causes of the bees disappearing, and what effects is this going to have for us and for our world, our society? So take notes while you watch, and then you're going to upload them to that assignment. And then finally, you are going to post by Monday, February 19th, post in this discussion. There's 3 main questions here, and then you're going to reply by the following Friday, February 23rd, to 2 classmates. So this week's discussion is structured a little differently. Rather than having a Friday and Monday due date, it's a Monday and then the following Friday due date. So, okay, well, I think that's pretty much it. I hope you all have a great week. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns, and I will talk to you all soon. All right, bye.